Good morning. This is David Olshan of Nevada Legal Services. It's Monday, June 1st, 2021, and this is your COVID-19 update. Well, the legislative session ended, and not a moment too soon. It was another failure for working families and workers here in Nevada. They had a special session last year and pretty much did nothing, so it's nothing new. But let's go over a few of the highlights, especially in the landlord-tenant area. AB 486 passed. Hopefully, it'll be signed by Governor Sisolak. It'll provide a defense to any tenant who goes after rent assistance and the landlord doesn't participate, or the landlord refuses the rent assistance. It only applies to non-payment evictions. In the notice for non-payment, which is a 7-day notice, you should get some advice on how to apply for rent assistance, and you should apply for rent assistance because it'll help you, it'll pay off the rent, and provide a defense if the landlord refuses to participate. The Directive 43 has ended. It ended yesterday. So you're only covered by the CDC moratorium. That ends at the end of June. So you should be protected from non-payment, but if you haven't supplied your landlord with a declaration, do that as quickly as possible. It's a CDC declaration. And also go after rent assistance because it can, under AB 486, provide a defense to a non-payment eviction. AB 141 allows for the automatic sealing of any eviction that occurred between March 12, 2020 and the end of the pandemic. It must be summary eviction based on non-payment, which is almost always going to fall under NRS 40.253. This could be important. Of course, it really doesn't harm landlords and it doesn't really help tenants, but it's there, AB 141, and it doesn't hurt, so I guess that's what you could say. Do no harm, legislature, and AB 141 does no harm. AB 308, if you pay rent by the month, you must get a 60-day notice of rent increase. If you pay rent for any shorter period of time, you'll get a 30-day notice of rent increase. Also, late fees cannot accrue until 3 days after they're due, which of course is a 3-day grace period for late rent, but it's not a 3-day grace period for non-payment notices. So the first day that you are late with the rent, you can get a 7-day pay rent or quit. It can't include late fees, but it can result in your eviction if you don't pay the rent. This watered down bill, AB 308, takes effect July 1st. And of course, as I said before, that's when the CDC moratorium ends. If you do get an eviction notice and you want help with any landlord-tenant issue, please contact us at Nevada Legal Services. Do an online intake at nlslaw.net, and I will be back with more COVID-19 updates.